What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fishnickel's YouTube channel. So today we're doing something a little bit interesting. We're giving advice before regionals. As some people might be saying, Squeaky, what are you talking about? Who are you? What do you know about Pokemon? Well, I've been playing Pokemon since like 2009. Made Worlds 3 times. Made multiple top 8s of regionals. So hopefully my advice is somewhat good, but not only is that my advice, what we're going to do is we're going to take the community advice, right? So we're going to talk about these advice and pretty much go over those and kind of go more into it, right? So first of all, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, go do the Twitter thing. I don't know if I post a lot, but I like to be on Twitter a lot. It's probably my favorite social media to be on at TFK Pokemon. Because Team Fishnickel's Pokemon, I think, was too longer. Maybe taken or something. I don't know. But I made a post saying, if you had to give advice to someone for their first regional, what would it be? Because I know it's going to be a lot of people's first regionals, right? I know there's like 1,000 Masters. It's the first of the season. Everybody's super hyped. I don't know how hyped people are now that you need 500 CP to go to Japan. I'm still excited and still very interested in going to Japan. Doing the 500 grind. So, we'll see. So yeah, but anyways, we're not talking about that, and then we could talk about that in a different video, but we're talking about what advice would you give people for the first regional. So we're going to go over these, go over them, and talk about them, right? So yeah, let's go down the list, talk, have a little casual conversation, and if you see my regionals this weekend, come say hello. We'll be there playing, doing the Pokemon thing, so yeah. First one is from Jared. It says, have fun, talk to your opponents, just talk about your love for the game and ask them how long they're playing or even where they're from. So this is great. I love interactions with the opponents at the start, talking about them and saying like, "Hey man, where are you from? How long you playing Pokemon?" Those are great conversation pieces. And I do like more when your opponents do talk. I get that some people are like super serious and don't take it wrong with people. Some people you're going to sit down and they're just going to be like hyper focused, right? Especially when you get to the later rounds, like round 7, 8, 9, if you do make it to the higher tables, and you will, because you're watching this video, you're going to make it to the higher tables. Some people are just going to be focused, right? They might talk some, but they're going to be focused on the game. They're going to be, trying to think of what they're going to do. They're going to draw their 7 cards and have like 1,000 calculations in their hand of what they're doing. But I do like talking to the opponents, and just have fun. I think it's the big thing too. And because the question is more so for the new players. What's advice for the new players? Because the people that have been playing forever, stop watching. You know about this stuff, right? Why are you watching this video? Go away. But we're talking about the new players. And the big thing is to have fun. Don't go into it being super competitive. Like, I want to, it is a good thing to have the mindset, like, I want to make day 2 and, whatever, or top 256 or top 128, whatever it is you want to do. That's fine. But I think the big thing is, like, just have fun. It's your first regionals ever. Don't be like, I'm going to play Palkia and Teleon, and you're just kind of like all over the place. But have fun, talk to your opponents, just learn about the game, make new friends, stuff like that. Second one, it just says have fun. What the heck? See your reply, you can now pin a reply. Got it. We could pin, maybe we'll pin a reply. The number one might get a pin a reply. Have fun. We already talked about this, have fun, whatever. Time your pee breaks. Worst feeling ever is down 0-1 in the best of 3 and really have to use the bathroom. This is very true. And I don't think anybody else talked about this. But it's kind of funny. But if you're like, man, I kind of have to potty. I kind of have to, take a pee break. Just go do it. Because your rounds are an hour long. I get, they could go longer, depending on time and stuff like that. And then sometimes you sit down and you have to wait. You have to wait because maybe there's a repair, maybe because something else, maybe because XYZ. Is that the game doesn't get started immediately, right? So make sure you go use bathrooms. I know it's kind of weird to say, but if you feel like you gotta go, because like I don't know how to say this person's name, Galazi TCG. Like they said, if you gotta go and you're 0-1, you're gonna be rushing and you're gonna make more mistakes and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, just go use the bathroom. Alright, so let's see here. Take the deck you have most reps with. It doesn't matter if it's the best deck as long as you feel super comfortable with it. And yes, I would agree with real raw Matthew here. That is a big thing I was talking about a second ago. Some people go in the mindset of like, I gotta play Palkia and Teleon. I know it's the best deck. I know this. But sometimes they're more intricate and more harder to play. If you're thinking, you know what, I want to play Regigigas, right? I love Regigigas, but oh man, I'm so scared of Flying Pikachu. But you know how to play Regigigas? Just play Regigigas. Who cares? Have fun. It's your first regionals ever, and there's 1,000 masters there. You don't know what you're going to hit, and you don't know what's going to happen. You could play 9 rounds of Arceus Gyarados or something. Like, there's so many different decks in this format right now that you never know. So yeah, just play the deck you're most comfortable with, because you want to make sure you know the outs to everything. Even though if you know something's a bad matchup, you know it's a bad matchup. But if you have a deck and you have no idea it's a bad matchup, you don't even know what to do, then you're kind of losing from the start. At least if you know your deck has a bad matchup, you still have outs to win the game. Does that make sense? Like, if you know it's a bad matchup, you already know how to beat those bad matchups because you play the deck a lot. But if you're playing a new deck, like, well, I want to play, Flying Pikachu, and you pair against a deck you've never seen before, well, you don't even have options on how to play your deck, and then now you don't even know what to do because you never played against this deck and stuff like that, and you have an auto loss or something like that. So yeah, play the deck you most have reps with. It doesn't matter, as long as you feel super comfortable with it. I promise you're going to do a lot better, especially if you're new to this, okay? Don't skip breakfast. A good breakfast really gives you the energy to play round 4 right before lunch. It does a lot to soothe the nerves. I think it's a big thing too. I know a lot of players that are like, what did you do today? What did you eat for breakfast? Nothing. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know about y'all, but like playing Pokemon like makes me tired. Like, I am using my brain cells all day. Maybe I'm not the smartest person and my brain's not working that much all day. But when I play Pokemon for like 9 rounds, I start getting tired because I'm hungry. And so I make sure, like, before every regionals, I'm eating like some kind of actual real dessert. I'm not just eating like a granola bar or something, right? Like, I'm eating, like, I'll probably go to, like, since it's in Baltimore, I'm driving from home, so I'll probably start like Dunkin' Donuts and give me like, an egg cheese sausage, like bagel or something, or whatever they have there, and give me a coffee. I mean, good to go, ready to go. Probably buy me a water to drink during the event as well, because having water is good. You want to stay hydrated if you get thirsty. If you're into sodas, bring a soda. It doesn't matter. Water, soda, as long as you quench your thirst, that's all that matters. But yeah, getting a breakfast really does help out a lot. And you won't go into like, oh, my tummy hurts because I haven't ate, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, eat breakfast. Eat breakfast. Even if you're nervous, eat breakfast. It's good for you. Scoop Game 1 is looking unfavorable. And I love this tweet a lot. Because so it's your first regionals. If you don't know, it's best 2 out of 3, and you can tie. So if you know I'm down, I can see the future, I'm losing to 2 turns, there's no way I can win. All right, let's scoop, go to game 2. I do this a lot in practice, and if you're watching this Friday and you're test playing after you watch this video, just do that while test playing. If you know you're losing, and while you're test playing the night before, play timed matches. I know that seems kind of weird, but actually play with time in mind with your friends. If you do play best 2 out of 3. And get used to scooping. If you know you're going to lose in 2 to 3 turns because you missed something crucial, go ahead and scoop. If you're playing Arceus and you're not attacking by turn 3 and you're like, okay, there's no way I can win because the other Arceus player is attacking, or Palkia is doing his thing, or Regigigas has all of his guys out and swinging for 2 turns straight, and go ahead and just scoop and go to game 2. You want to make sure you have enough time to finish all 3 games because you want to be able to win to get those points than to lose or tie and not get those points. So that is a big thing, and I like that a lot. Don't play to win, play to improve, and the wins will coincide. Hydrate, use the restroom between every round, breakfast. I like all those things. We talked about hydrating. You want to drink plenty of water. I know if you're big into Cokes and sodas, go ahead and drink Coke and soda. Don't let people be like, don't drink Cokes, don't drink only Cokes and whatever. Drink whatever you used to. If you drink Coke and sodas all the time, do that. I'm telling you, do that. Don't all of a sudden like, I'm just drinking water, just hydrate, because then your body's used to caffeine and stuff like that, and you'll start like being like decaffeinated or whatever it's called when you start crashing. So just drink if you're used to drinking drinks, like I drink a lot of non-sugar whatever drinks, energy drinks. I'm probably going to drink a couple of these while I'm down there. So I'm not going to change just to water just because I'm there. Like your body's not used to that. So don't just switch just to water. But I don't also just like, not drink. That's a big thing. Eat breakfast, we talk about this. Use the bathroom, we talk about this. Don't play to win, play to improve. I like that a lot because a lot of people will just lose games and they don't know why they lost, right? But if you can regulate what you lost and replay it in your mind, and even while testing, you should probably do that. You should probably be like, oh, if I did this, what would happen? And start thinking about that and stuff like that. I know it's kind of like an if-then kind of situation, whatever. But I think that's probably better to know what you messed up on than just not knowing what you did wrong. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. So don't eat a big lunch. I think this is debatable. And I get where they're coming from. You don't want to eat so much where you're going to have to potty. You see what I'm saying? Like, you better calm down. Don't eat, like, a whole meal. But I think you want to eat enough to get you through. Don't eat, like, a granola bar. But if your body's used to only a granola bar, then eat only a granola bar. Don't try to change your diet. I think that's the big thing. Just keep it consistent. I know some people will miss their lunch and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, I'm so hungry. I'm like, did you eat? No, blah, blah, I didn't want to. And I'm like, do you usually eat lunch during the day? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, why would you change during a Pokemon tournament? Just eat. So, but if you're not used to eating big lunch, don't change that either. Don't try to counter every deck. You will just brick. And I think it's a great point. Because, once again, there's 1,000 masters there. You can roll the dice 20 times, 20 different tournaments, and you won't hit the same people. So you want to play cards that are more consistent to your deck. Now, I get it. There's some big decks out there. Like, we know that, Arceus is big. We know Palkia will be big. We know Mew will be big. Those are the 3 contenders. Outside of that, don't try to counter all the rest of the decks like Gigas and Charizard and Lunatone and Shadow Rider. And if you're like, oh, man, I really lose to, Aggron, well, don't try to counter every deck, right? Just pick the ones you think are going to be the biggest. And even then, the biggest ones, you don't want to counter every single one of them because you really can't counter all 3 of the big ones in one game. Like I said, you're going to play 1,000 Masters. You never know what's going to do. Make your deck more consistent to beat more matchups than just to make it you play this one card to beat only certain matchups. Jakey Hart posted a watch. Yeah, I mean, if you need a watch, I think the bigger thing on Jake's to talk about is like have time management more so than just wearing a watch. Yes, you can wear a watch and like, hey, 50 minutes, all right, 30 minutes, I'm losing, I need a scoop, we need a game 2, and blah, blah, blah. But I think this is also like going back to like, if you know you're losing, just go ahead and scoop. Just do it. Just do the scoop. But wearing a watch is fine. I particularly don't like wearing watches. I got fat wrist, I guess. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan of watches. But yeah, I see where you're going with it, Jake, and I do agree with it. It's easier time management when you have a watch on you. Also, just like having the mental like mindset of 50 minutes in your head too is a very good thing to have as well too. But you kind of get that over the years of playing as well. JW, play fast. We talked about this. Know when to scoop. Don't tie. Let's go. Jack's head. Have fun. I agree completely. We talked about this. I played VGC for 10 years and TCG on and off for 10 years, probably 4 or 5 years of actual play. And my quips are have fun, fantastic, right? Be comfortable rather it be closed, your deck, the company you keep. Remember to eat and drink. You're probably playing for 12 hours. This is great from Haley Haymaker. Be comfortable. Wear comfy clothes. I agree with that completely. You don't want to go into a tournament being uncomfortable all day and like you have to like adjust your clothes or adjust your whatever. Like I don't know. Like you're gonna see me. I'm probably gonna be in like just regular comfy clothes. Sometimes I do like to wear a button up and shorts, but that's also comfy clothes to me too. So just wear stuff that's comfy. I guess it does make sense, right? Wear stuff that you're used to. So be comfortable with your deck. Don't make decisions because everybody else is playing it. And we'll talk about that. The company you keep. And that's a big thing too. You want to be comfortable with around the friends you have too, right? Between each round. So talk to your friends. Say, hey friends, I lost because of XYZ. And your friends will go, man, that really XYZ. And you're good to go, right? So give that a little heart. Get good. It's your first regionals. I don't know if this is one. Andre. Hope I said the name right. Be prepared / confident is more important than your deck and list. And yes, I agree with this completely. This is what I was talking about earlier. You want to know the outs and be like, know how to beat those outs, right? We talked about this, right? If you go against a matchup, you want to know, okay, I do this, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Because if you go into a match and you have no idea how to play against certain matchups, what are you going to do, right? If you don't know the ins and outs of your deck, then you're going to lose because of it. So I think that is a big thing that we don't really talk about sometimes. Like people talk about like, just play your deck, know your deck, but not so much know your deck, but know your deck outs, right? Be prepared for the matchups. Be confident in your matchups. Even in the bad matchups, you want to have outs to those matchups. So I think that's a great thing right there. This one says, do not care about your results. Care about how you mentally approach each challenge. Anyone can play Mons, but training yourself to compete by coping with pressure is the most difficult part, and everyone does it differently. For me, I focus on just having fun, and the rest works out. No matter how good you are, if you can't cope with the occasion, you will never win. I've been outplayed many times, but won because I've never lapsed in concentration, but my opponents did. Your games will naturally improve, but the only way to improve mentally is coping with those spots. And yes, I think this goes back to what we're talking about. You want to be able to cope with the way you lose, right? Some people get so frustrated and they go, oh man, I lost because they Roxanne me to 2 and blah, blah, blah. And they just start going this rant. I'm like, okay, there's probably something else in your game because it is best 2 out of 3. We talked about this. And you didn't lose because your opponent Roxanne you too. What something different that you could have did? Could you have quick ball to card waste so you have less junk in your deck, right? Could you have done this to this? Could you have saved, the Laminion or something? Like, is there something you could have done to make it where you had more outs, right? And I think it's a big thing, right? So in coping with the pressure, that's kind of like hard to prepare for. Some people do just get nervous, right? And I don't know how you prepare for a challenge. Like, sitting down and seeing 1,000 Masters, it is a lot. Especially coming from, like, me. Like, the first regionals that I played in was in St. Louis in a mall. And I'm pretty sure there was, like, maybe 100 Masters, if that. It was the St. Louis mall. And now we have, like, 1,000 regionals. I'm like, like, my Nats in, like, 2010, I don't think even had 1,000 Masters. That's crazy. So it is kind of like the pressure. It's like, whew, that's something you just have to get used to. But everything else, I agree completely. Nick said, if they are going just to go, have fun. If you're truly trying to get points, win, play what you want and come with. Matchup knowledge takes you farther than metagaming. We talked about this. 100% agree with the statement. Know your meta and stuff like this. Ty says, subscribe to Team Fishing Goals YouTube channel 310. Whatever. Get to know your opponents. Making friends is the most valuable thing you can take away from tournaments, especially your first. I was trying for this exact thing. I made friends with a lot of people, including Nino, Pokebros, and Tom Hayden. And yes, Evan, I agree with this completely. You can play against an opponent, and you can be chatty with them and have great friendship. And some of these friendships, they're for life, right? I've been to many Pokemon weddings because, and none of the people I know that I went to weddings are because we live close to each other. It's because we became friends because of Pokemon and we have played each other. Or maybe we say to the we talk to each other at a convention or something like that. And I think that is a good thing, especially first regionals. You want to get to know people. The more resources you have, the more friendships you have, and stuff like that, the better it is, right? And I think that is something cool because now, when I play Pokemon, like I said, since 2009, there's so many countless people I know and could easily say, hey, man, you want to hang out at regionals? Yeah, come on, man, let's hang out. So that's pretty cool. Joe said, stay hydrated with water. Once again, stay hydrated, I agree, but if you want to drink Coke, drink your Coke. If you're used to that, make sure you do that. Travis said, drink water. Once again, I agree, stay hydrated, but if you're a Coke drinker, drink your Coke. Rodan said, have time to play test. You gotta love it. There's a meme. If you're new to Team Fishing Goals, every Friday I post. Every Friday before regionals I post, guys, I haven't had time to test. What deck should I play? This meme has been going along longer than any other memes that people had. I've been doing this for longer than anybody else. I think since 2014. So it's been a long meme. And Rodale, no. When? No. Wear deodorant. Yes, I agree completely. Bring deodorant for yourself and others. So back-to-back wear deodorants. And I think, man, just wear deodorant. Just, and because, okay, I'm trying to think of how to say this. Because some people are more sensitive to smells than other people. Right? Some people, you just walk into places, you can smell something more than other people, right? And if everybody is stinky, we'll be in a stinky room, and some people will struggle with that. So, I mean, I'm a big person. You're gonna see me wear deodorant. I might be a little sweaty playing Pokemon all day, but I'm gonna be wearing deodorant. And if I'm stinky, just let me know. So I'm not gonna go too much about that. That's just be courteous to your neighbors, pretty much, right? The cool thing about this, if it's like everything else, you should have enough space, so we shouldn't be all crammed together. So yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. Don't be afraid to talk to people around you. We talked about that. Be friends. Eat a mega breakfast. I don't know if mega breakfast is the right answer. Just make sure you eat a healthy enough, but not healthy enough. Just make sure you eat enough of breakfast, right? Bring extra socks, deodorant, charger cable, keep mind at ease. I do like the charger cable one. Deodorant's fine. If you know you're a sweaty person, wearing deodorant. You're a sweaty person. It's just what it is. But charger cable is a big thing. Also, like, I have an iPhone, so we have, I don't, look, I'm not tech savvy, don't want to get into the debate, but I bring my lightning cable with me so I can charge my phone, boop, charge it really, really quick. So, I like that a lot. I'm constantly tweeting, seeing how people are doing, seeing the results of tournaments, taking pictures with friends. So, yeah, make sure your phone's charged. And you need it for pairings. That's the big thing too. For pairings, there we go. So you need it for pairings. So that's a big one there too. Because if you haven't been to regionals before, you don't know this, but they use your phone for pairings. That's really cool. Remember the Paper Life? Do they still do paper pairings? They probably do, right? Ooh, those were a pain. You had like 1,000 people crowding like 2 of the columns. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. 30 minutes early is 15 minutes late. Basically, don't show the venue on time because they're going to be in trouble. Don't try and beat the event and the entire venue. You play against one person at a time. And I like this. Remember, you're playing against 1,000 people, but you're not playing against 1,000 people once. You're playing one at a time. So just keep that in mind. My first region, Oregon played against Angel Miranda, round 1, and he cut a top 4. Don't be surprised if you get paired with really good players round 2. I almost think TPCI does this on purpose to cater to its established players since new players are less likely to be hyper-competitive. I don't know about the second one. I feel like we're just joking with the second part. But yes, I'm not gonna say don't be surprised, right? Because if you are somebody who looks up to Azul, looks up to Grant, I'm trying to think of everybody else who does stuff, to JW, to Riley, to Mr. Andrew Mahone himself, right? You got all these players, and you look up to them, and you get paired against them. You know what? I think it is okay to be surprised, but don't be so surprised that it hinders it, makes you misplay or not think correctly, right? Because they're just another Pokemon player. Dude, just think about another Pokemon player. Yes, be shocked, to be surprised. When I was, looking into Pokemon, growing up in the Pokemon scene, Jay Witz, Puka, all these people, to this day, I talk to Puka a lot, and every time I see him, I'm like, hey, Puka, how's it going? And I still get a little shell-shocked. That me and Puka talk, that me and Jay Witz talk, and stuff like that. But I understand, how some people get nervous, and I think it's fine. But don't let it be you get so nervous that you automatically think you're going to lose, and then you're not going to do good. I have a good friend, call him out, Kenny. I think he played against Azul. I think it was Azul. Maybe against somebody else, maybe Pablo or something. I can't remember who it was. And I remember he's saying, well, I sat down and I knew immediately I was going to lose. And I just wanted to just pop him in the back of the head and be like, hey, don't think like that. Just another Pokemon player. Now the thing about it is, they have, they have better, more experience than you probably. But don't let that worry you so much that it affects your capability of playing. Right? So just think about it as another player. Just think of another player. Watch what they're doing. Try to think of plays and see what they're doing. And the cool thing about this is you can learn from them. Playing against these players is some of the best way to get experience, right? Because they know the game very well. If you're going to sit down and play against them, and they might do stuff, sequence in, or maybe even shuffling just watching him shuffle sometimes is very interesting, or setting up correctly and stuff like that. You could learn just from stuff like that. So sit down, don't get shell shocked, but I understand you do get surprised and you do get nervous, and you sit down and you sit against Azul or you sit against Mahone and you're shell shocked. You're like, oh my gosh, Mahone, you're so beautiful. You know, where have you been all my life, Mr. Andrew? Right? So, you know, stuff like this, it's going to happen, but don't let it mess up your play, right? I think that's a big thing right there. Whoever it is, whatever fan, who you're a fan of, I don't know. Really bad at knowing all the players and all the YouTubers and all that kind of fun stuff. I guess I'm getting too old. But there's also some quotes. Let's see if we get some quotes. Noel said, just because you might let your opponent take back a misplay doesn't mean they'll do the same, nor do they owe you one. Just play properly and make sure the game is being played correctly. And this is a very interesting one to talk about. So let's see. Did they say anything else? I don't know. I can't see if they did. But if your opponent said, hey, can I take this back? Just think about this. It is a game. Yes. You want to be nice, right? You don't want to be, you know, a meanie head. But at the same time, you're here to win. And just because your opponent says Lysander, Boss or whoever, and then they go, oh, man, I really didn't mean to do that. I meant to say this Pokemon. I mean, you can't let them take it back, but they don't owe you, right? So don't get all salty if you're nice to your opponent. They're not nice back. There is money on the line. There's a championship. So make sure you watch out for that. Remember, winning is cool, but remember to have fun first. That's correct, Val. Appreciate that. Dominic said this is my first regional, but there is one rule that cannot be broken. Unless you have no choice, you are not allowed to kill the beative. I mean, you could try that rule. I don't know if it's going to work. Natalie said, hydrate a deep breathing between rounds. Try your best to keep a sound mind to avoid build tilting, as you'll play much worse. And I agree, Natalie, completely. That is great. Make sure you hydrate. We talked about this, drinking water. And like I said, I can't say this enough. Not only drinking water, just whatever makes you feel comfortable, right? Whatever makes you feel better, just do that, right? But the main thing is try to keep a sound mind and being tilted as you play, as you'll play much worse. So we haven't talked about this one just yet. Let's say we kind of thought about, like, if you know you misplayed, like, oh my gosh, if I would have done this, if I would attack with, you know, Miltank instead of Blissey or something, right, Natalie? You know, I could have won, right? And you just start thinking about that, and then you go into your next game still thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm just going to make the same misplay again. What am I doing? Why am I even playing Pokemon? Well, if you do that to your next game, you're going to do bad, right? You already have a bad mindset. What you could do, and I have done this a couple times before, when I was getting into Pokemon, this is like early, like 2013, 2014, is when I knew I did bad at a turn or did bad at a game, I had headphones with me, and I would turn to my favorite, like, band and just listen to them. Like, at the time, and even now, 21 Pilots was my favorite band, or one of my favorite bands. And so I would turn on, like, car radio and stuff and just get, like, really pumped up and get really excited and just get, like, yeah, you know, whatever. Or listen to whoever pumps you up, and then you just get happy mood and you just forget about the game. But don't forget about the game so much where you make the same misplay again, right? You see what I'm saying? Still learn from your mistakes, but don't let it bug you so much that you carry into the next game, you do bad. I do like that a lot. Overlord said, what would you say? Let's go read some of their tweets. I really need this because it's my first. Oh, check out my video. Play the game, not the meta. I agree. Once again, you gotta play what you're comfortable with, not just the that. Take the playmat, not the hat. Okay, that is for when you're signing up, and you have an option of taking a playmat or the hat. So take the playmat, not the hat. Bring Nature Valley bottles for snack and a bottle of water for hydration. Once again, great if you're hungry, eat Nature Valley, but not only Nature Valley, because some people just might not get filled on granola bars. Whatever you're used to. Man, if you like Cheetos, bring a bag of Cheetos. If you like beef jerky, bring a bag of beef jerky, snack on beef jerky. Whatever you need, don't let people just say all this healthy stuff, make you think, you know, I need this healthy stuff. Once again, if your body's used to something, don't try to change it that day. I think it's a bad thing. I think, oh, don't do that. Just make sure you have food and you have drinks and you're good to go. Always have fun. Remember that it's all about the people you meet along the way and not just the battles. That is very true. you care about the people you meet. Don't get so caught up in stuff like that. Mr. Will Post himself said, familiarize yourself with the rules that govern competitive play so you don't have to go home when you try to coin flip to resolve a tie or other fun things. Make sure you hydrate. Always remember that Bidoof is the best Pokemon. So, and I'll go a little bit off Will's post comment. Make sure you just know the rules. And if you have a question, you know what you can do? You just raise your hand. That sun is glaring. I apologize. I gotta put blinds in my new thing. That is crazy. It's because Will Post. It's like ding, Will Post. Anyways, like he said, make sure you know the rules, right? You don't want a coin flip to resolve a tie, right? Because then you'll lose. You just go home, or I don't know what they do. They kick you out or whatever. But make sure you know the rules. If you have any questions, raise your hand, call a judge. Don't go just what off your opponent says. If your opponent says one thing and you still feel questionable, call a judge over. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a game where you're trying to win money, you're trying to get championship points, you're trying to go to Japan. So make sure you know the rules. If you have any questions, ask. Please ask a judge. Please. Just don't ask your opponent and you found out later that you're wrong. The people are asking questions about rules. Call a judge. You're not sure about anything. You're completely. Bidoof, I'm too busy saying Bidoof to care about what you just said. Some rule about milking the clock. Anyways. I guess I'm officially dad mood because my advice is having fun. Shout out to Kevin for having a kid. Shout out Kevin. Mr. Magikarp himself. So, once again, advice, have fun. Have fun. Don't be so super competitive and stuff like that. You travel to be around 1,000 people who love to do the same thing you do. Winning is fun, but not everything. See the city, meet people, try new food, find a cube or side events for Sunday, etc. And I think this is a big thing. We've talked about this a lot. Let's go to Eric from Eric real quick. No one to scoop games. We talked about this. No one to scoop games. I want to end on Mello's note, right? We talked about this multiple times throughout this whole thing. But the big thing is to have fun. I agree completely. You're gonna meet people that you are gonna make friendships probably for life, right? You're gonna know about these people. They're gonna know about you. They're gonna invite you to the weddings, whatever. You're gonna build friendships, and you're gonna see these people forever, right? So I think that's more important and stuff like that. I think valuing those friendships is amazing. Remember, you're going to 1,000 people. Variance is going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen, right? It is cool to win. If you're not super competitive, I mean, not even super competitive. Even super competitive people would love to go hang out with their friends. They love to go the night before. They love to go, hang out, do stuff. Maybe do an escape room, like Kevin said. See the city, meet people, try new food, find a queue, have fun at the side events, watch the finals. There's a lot of different things you can do. Just don't go in the mindset of like, I'm going there to win. And when you don't win, you're sad and you're upset because there's 1,000 people. It's like playing the lottery, except it's a little bit more in your hands. So just go have fun, guys. That's the big thing. That's the biggest advice. Competing on Sunday is fun too. I love you having fun. Shout out to Liam for winning. Worlds. GLC, whatever, day 2. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, guys, have fun. I'm excited. A lot of interactions in this post. So hopefully it was helpful. It's communicative. Go have fun this weekend. I'll actually be at regionals today. I'm trying to do the autograph session because the guy that's there, he is the one that created this shaman card. That is my favorite shaman card. So I'm gonna be there getting autographs from him. I'm gonna be in the harbor Saturday or Friday, walking around. Maybe go to the aquarium. I'll be at regionals for a little bit, getting my badges and stuff. And then for Saturday and Sunday, I'll be there all day. So, yeah. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait. First regionals. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we come back Monday and we're the champion. Just kidding. That's not going to happen. But, I'm going to have fun. And, guys, I'm excited. So, yeah. Hit that subscribe button. See you on Monday with probably a vlog. Hopefully if I remember to record stuff. If not, at least a recap. Alrighty, guys. Bye.